I'm Ivan from Brasstracks, and this is my workstation on the road. This is my trumpet. It's a raw brass trumpet. I know that sounds like I'm just saying it's a raw brass trumpet, but it's actually a company based out of Portland. I got this horn, I think 2 years ago, maybe 2.5 now. I think we were on tour, in the midst of a tour with Jack Garrett, and I broke 2 different trumpets in that week. It was bad. That's why I actually have a tattoo to remind myself, don't do that. So there were lighting fixtures, I was jumping around, I threw my trumpet behind me, and the valves got caught and I messed it all up. Long story short, I found a couple of my friends were playing horns by this company, Raw Brass Trumpets, which is a rather small company in Portland. Like a lot of people find things, I went to their Instagram and their social media pages and listened to people playing the horns, and finally got to try one myself, and it was history from there. I've used it since, and I love it. I just have a pretty standard Shure wireless microphone, Beta 98 on here. It's a very basic Shure wireless microphone setup that lots of trumpet players use. The only difference is that I bought this thing, I think on Amazon, that Shure makes it, that you can, it's supposed to strap on probably elsewhere, but I figured out a way to put it on the trumpet. Actually, I should say my tour manager figured out a way. Shout out Bulletproof Joe. I use 2 keyboards on the road right now. I've always used this Nord Electro 3, which started out as one of my very, very close friends' keyboard, and I was just borrowing it from him so often that he was like, dude, you should just buy it from me, and I was like, oh, okay. So it's not one of the newest Nords, although if Nord wants to send me one of the newest Nords, but I love it. It has a great organ sound, it has a great piano sound, it has a great Rhodes sound, and then I've gone in and I've tweaked a bunch of those sounds to have like, you know, flangers and auto wahs and stuff, and things that can make their sounds a little bit more funky and stuff. I don't know, I love my Nord. I use it all the time. So I started with this, and then I bought this last year. It's a Moog Subsequent 37, Subsequent? Who knows? I call it a Sub 37, but I love what this thing does, and I've been using it in records ever since I bought it, and it's on a lot of the Brasstracks records that you hear. A lot of the bass sounds I use come from this. A lot of the lead sounds that I use come from this. Sometimes I layer lead sounds and turn them into a pad and stuff like that. And it's just super intuitive, and I love it. And I have a really light flight case for it, so it's really easy to haul around. Yeah, this one has to go in a shotgun case though. Or not shotgun case, sniper case. Clearly I know nothing about guns. But I was stranded in Reno with Connor on tour with this keyboard, and my case broke. It was a soft case, and it broke, and there was no place to buy a case for a Nord keyboard, and Grizz's tour manager said, well, just go get a sniper case. I was like, okay. And I did. So moving on from that. This is a microphone. No, I'm just kidding. We make all of our show tracks, obviously in a computer before, not this one, on my studio computer normally, before we hit the stage, but I need a way to trigger all of those and to go back and forth between them kind of seamlessly and like transition between songs seamlessly. And I've tried a bunch of different things, and so far the APC 40 has been, the MK2, the APC 40 MK2 has been the easiest thing for me. I swear I've had like 3 of these. You know, I've been using them since the very, very beginning. I remember having the APC 1, which required actual power, but luckily all this requires now is MIDI USB cable. This is what you see most people using when they say they're Ableton DJing. We're not really doing a DJ set, so to speak. We have a bunch of live instruments on stage, but we do have like backing tracks that we make specifically for the show, and I need to figure out a way to play those easily and be able to filter them, be able to put delays and reverbs and effects on them, and send them all out quick. So yeah, I use this. And then I use a Native Instruments Complete Audio 6 for my stage interface. At home I'm not using this, I'm using a little bit more of a complicated setup, but this is great because it has 4 outputs. When you're doing what we do, we need to be able to send a click to both Connor and I. So we're hearing, you can't hear it in the room, but we're hearing a metronome the entire time, the entire show, to keep us, you know, in sync. It has, you can flip the headphone switch to be on 3 and 4. So basically we plug the click in to the headphone jack, then we flip it over to 3 and 4, and I send the click out of the 3rd input only, throw that into a DI, and that gets sent to the front of house, and sends a monitor's world really, and front of house. Depending on where Monitor's World is, I guess. And that gets sent into our ears from there. And that's how we keep ourselves together. We're not able to go on the road without making some music. There's so many projects that we're involved in, so I want to talk a little bit about that and how we make that happen. But before that, I want to give a special shout out to the dudes that make our in-ears, Empire ears. Yo, so I got the Pokemon Gold and Silver edition here. They don't call it that, I call it that. But if y'all want to go in on calling it that, we can do that. But yeah, this has changed my life. Connor has been trying to tell me I should get on in-ears for quite some time, and I was always reluctant as a trumpet player, and I did it, and it's changed my life, truthfully. So, yeah, so we weren't really able to, we've done a lot of tours. Both Connor and I get, I think, anxiety from not being able to create music. I mean, like, playing live music every night is absolutely wonderful, but we have so many projects that we take care of back home, and, you know, all over the world, honestly, and people that we take care of and people that we're collaborating with, and we can't let those slide. So this time around, I brought a pair of monitors and my home interface, and I use my show laptop, which is probably really stupid, but I do it anyway, so we can keep up with the projects that we have going on. Yeah, since switching over to this Apollo Twin recently, everything sounds better for me. Everything that I've recorded sounds better. I think Connor has the exact same Apollo Twin Duo at home. And it's opened up a whole world of U80 plugins that has changed my entire thing around. Right now I'm using Yamaha HS5s, only just, they're clean, they're clear, they're for the bus mainly. That's the thing, is that the bandwagon has, like, this is like the biggest desk that we get. So I had a pair of HS7s at home. My roommate had a pair of HS5s upstairs. I was like, I'm gonna make you a deal you can't refuse, and he was like, give me those HS7s, and I took these. In the next city that I go to, I'm gonna get a bigger MIDI keyboard, but this has been fantastic. I've been borrowing it from our trombone player, Nadav, just for bass lines and stuff like that. And these are the only headphones, not the only headphones, but these are the headphones you should always have on the road because they're just tried and true and wonderful. They're Sony 7506s. Apple makes my life really difficult, and I have way too many adapters, and that's all I want to say. But look at this. This is absurd. This is absurd. And I hear the microwave beeping because my coffee has been in there probably for the whole sound check, and I forgot to grab it. Okay. Thanks for checking out my gear. Thanks for checking out what I do on the road. Come see us on the road. We're Brasstracks. We're on tour always, it seems like. We have a project coming out February 22nd, 2019. That's in a couple weeks. It's called Before We Go. And it is from us and all of our friends to you. We really hope you enjoy it. Thanks for watching.